More on allegations. In another development, the People's Gazette has published an investigation in a series of exposés on how the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory development. The People's Gazette has published an investigation in a series of exposés on how the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, has allegedly repurposed land administration to enrich his family, according to the Gazette on July 16th, despite a presidential probe purportedly underway. After their first publication, Wike allegedly signed 33 approvals for his family and friends. Among the beneficiaries was his father, Joshua Wike, who reportedly received a piece of land in Gusape 2. The 90-year-old was allocated 1,042 square meters of land worth 400 million naira under file number 62783 in the cited land documents. Other family members reportedly include cousins.
Hello, wonderful followers and subscribers of Holy Ghost, and I hope this video finds you well. All right, today I saw a write-up online how Wike, made a statement that he can allocate land to as many members of his family that he wants, and even Tinubu can't do him anything. Until I just wave it aside, until I came across this video again on Arise TV, releasing document upon document that People's Gazette released on how Wike allocated land he stole from people, repossessed land, thousands of hectares, to his father, brothers, sisters, and cousins. You see, when we are saying that this country has been hijacked by certain individuals that pocketed it, doing their best, thinking that we can't do anything, we got to rise up. I don't want to say much. That's one of the videos we're going to be watching. The second video that follow it is the one where Amaechi wife came out and dear Wike, because Wike accused her of taking 40 billion from NDDC monthly. And she has come out to say that Wike must come out and prove it. Guys, this video is loaded. This video is worth you sharing. As you watch video, please, if you not be enemy of Nigeria, I beg you, I beg you, endeavor to please like this video. Kindly share in all your platform. All Nigerians has got to see this video. Thank you.
Nigeria's former Minister of Transportation and ex-River State Governor, Amaechi, was in the state to address supporters of the African Democratic Congress during a rally in Port Harcourt. While delivering his speech, Amaechi vowed to put an end to the trend of election result manipulation in the state and challenged ADC members to actively counter those he referred to as merchants of election results, emphasizing that he would not work with those unwilling to confront this issue. He also strongly criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, stating that Nigerians are currently suffering and would face even worse conditions, potentially dead and buried, if Tinubu were to secure a second term. He also promised supporters that ADC will make Nigerians happy. Let's take a look.
River State is notorious for writing results. When they write results, they claim they have won. I will not work with you if you will not match with those result merchants to announce results. If you're not tired of President Tinubu, I am tired of you. If you are not hungry, I am hungry. No man, if the rich men are spending 4 million a month for fuel, for electricity, only God knows how you are surviving. And the president said he doesn't care. He said he's not here to make you happy. ADC is here to make you what?
All right, Dr. Abati, Amaechi here. He has finally quit the APC. Well, he also addressed journalists, and he said that the coalition leaders will throw their weight behind whoever emerges as the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress for the 2027 election. Dr. Abati, I'll take a reaction and I'll come to you. Obviously, this is such a resounding sort of rhetoric we've seen on social media from his statement there. This is from Troubl, who wrote, "Dear Amaechi, Stop cheap political blackmail. Nigerians complained under Buhari when you were a minister. Dr. Bati, he has continued to maintain his stance that he is hungry and that Nigerians are suffering, that the Tinubu administration is not working. Your thoughts?
Okay, the simple thing to say is that former governor, former minister Rotimi Amaechi is back. There was a time that people were looking for him in the political space, either in Rivers State or the Nigerian space, but he withdrew from the space. Now he has joined the ADC, the coalition, the opposition movement, and he resigned earlier this week. He said his ambition is to save Nigeria from the fangs of failure, from the anguish, the pain that the APC now, he spoke small English there, pellucidly symbolizes. Pellucidly simply means, in simple English, clearly symbolizes. Yes. But in that state, he tried to show that he read English at the University of Port Harcourt. The second thing that he has done is to go on that return to Port Harcourt, and he was received by a very large crowd. Now, at that occasion also, he condemned the Tinubu administration, and he says that the country is at the risk of collapse, and that he told the people who received him they should go home and start registration, and that they should defend their votes. They should not allow anybody in 2027 to write results. They must come out to vote. So at a personal level, you can call it the return of Rotimi Amaechi into the fold. So that space in Rivers State is also going to get very interesting very soon, because he will have to contend with his former chief of staff, Wike, who had vowed publicly that he will deliver not just Rivers State, but whatever can be delivered in favor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. So we're going to see, a greater battle in Rivers State. But in all of this, you cannot deny him the opportunity to express himself. But how far can the ADC go in the face of the incumbent power, influence, and impact, if you may add that, of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? So the game is on. Now, in the man we interviewed earlier on, Segi Osugun, he is running on the platform of ADC in Edo State, Edo Central, planning to go to the Senate. So the ADC, after all, may not well be, a phantom, organization. They are putting a lot of pressure. And all of this will come into our analysis for ahead of 2027.
In the meantime, Rotimi Amaechi's wife, Dame Judith Amaechi, has vehemently denied allegations by FCT Minister Nyesom Wike that she received 4 billion naira monthly from the Niger Delta Development Commission. Wike had publicly called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release the forensic audit report of the NDDC, claiming that it would show how Amaechi's wife allegedly benefited from the agency and that the report was suppressed to protect those involved in fraud. In response, Dame Amaechi, through her media assistant, issued a statement on Tuesday, July 22nd, dismissing Wike's claims as wild and unfounded political blackmail. She said that neither she nor her non-governmental organization, ESI, had ever received such payments from the NDDC. She further challenged Wike to publish the specific audit report that allegedly implicates her or ESI, stating that any claims of indictment are baseless, as the report has not been made public. Dr. Bati, I know you wanted to comment on this just so that we can have a different view. You have seen this story, and she actually dared Wike to release the result. And if he does not release those forensic audit, he should step down. He should actually resign.
Yes.
He
said he would do that if that audit was released,
Yes.
and if it proved him wrong, that he would send in his resignation letter. I think for the sake of the public good,
Yes.
I understand she feels it's imperative for her to clear her name, but this forensic audit is in the interest of the public good of Nigeria.
Yes.
It's beyond an individual and a family who may have benefited or may not have benefited, because that report, we feel, I think, is clear based off of how the panel went when we were doing Off Your Mic and people were fainting and, all those theatrics were happening during the last investigation, shows that report is robust, filled with secrets that are juicy to the ears of many Nigerians who want to know what really goes on within this NDDC that has a legacy of incomplete projects across the Niger Delta. This NDDC that everybody seems to fight and clamor to be associated with in one capacity or the other, and it's rumored that if you come close to the NDDC, it's like touching the hem of Jesus's garment, that you can become a billionaire overnight if you can just rub NDDC like this. So we want to know what's inside the audit.
We want to know you're laughing too much. Go ahead. Take note about this time. Why are you laughing?
This NDDC audit report is like Epstein's file. If the report come out, Nigeria will hate Begede. So between you and let's bet it. The report will not come out. Is it today they concluded the report? Mm-hmm. Report that will involve everything that has to do with Off Your Mic and the likes. No report will come out. I want to dare President Tinubu's government. Yeah. If you truly claim that you are a fighter of corruption, release the report. But me, in my heart, I know Shimbai Nigerians will not see. Okay. You know why?
Why?
Because it's like Epstein's file. Mm-hmm. Now we're beginning to see some things out of the Epstein's file. Wall Street Journal now reported today, it's through the reporting we do that Pambondi had told Donald Trump that they mention your name in the Epstein file. Right. So the so-called people that are throwing tantrum, I just thought maybe the person that said that thing, he said it maybe because he was angry that he wanted to throw political jab and everything. So he quickly threw it. But when you point hand like this, how many is the rest pointing to? Yeah. So we would like the President Tinubu's government to release this Epstein file called NDDC report. But me, you and I know, they will not release it because it will touch on, and that's seriously now, apart from the joke, I joke a lot sometimes, but I can get serious too. Mm-hmm. But seriously, that shows the level of massive corruption that happened in a place where we say off the mic. And you know what shocks me the most, Oji? Despite the level of wanton corruption we saw, the National Assembly has still gone ahead to set up more development commissions, which I think are hubs for corruption. And that's the sad reality. Every region has got one now. So it's not only NDDC that'll be eating out of the development commission pie. Every region has got one now. We'll see how all of this unfolds in the coming days. But be waiting for the report. It's not going to come.
I know you wanted to touch on Amaechi's wife denying that.
There is an allegation on the table. Yes. First by Wike, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, who says that Mrs. Judith Amaechi was receiving 4 billion naira monthly from the NDDC. The onus is on him now, as Mrs. Amaechi has pointed out, to prove. Amaechi on his part, Wike on his part, has asked the President of Nigeria to release the audited report, which in his view will expose the complicity of Mrs. Amaechi. Now, Rotimi Amaechi, the husband, speaking in another forum, had said his wife is a businesswoman and at no time did she collect money from the NDDC. So, the main point that is being made here is that he who alleges must prove.
Correct.
That's a basic principle. Number two, Mrs. Amaechi has the right to defend her reputation, whether she's Rotimi Amaechi's wife or not, as an individual and as a citizen and as a person whose integrity has been called to question. She has the right to defend our reputation the same way Mr. and Mrs. Macron of France are defending their own reputation, a subject that we took this morning. The third part is where I don't know where we can shift the balance now. The average Nigerian in this particular case, in my view, has the need to know and the right to know. It's not a question of right to know alone. I think it's a combination of both. Need to know, right to know. We need to know how resources of NDDC have been managed. We also have the right to know, to ask questions about transparency and accountability. Right. So this should not be left at the level of political rivalry. I think we should get to the bottom of the matter, and that's why the audited report should be released, so that we will know who is telling the truth and who is lying to we, the people of Nigeria. After all, as they say on that crowd on Twitter, it is our money.
It's our money. Oh. We need to know more on allegations. In another development, the People's Gazette has published an investigation in a series of exposés on how the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, has allegedly repurposed land administration to enrich his family, according to the Gazette on July 16th, despite a presidential probe purportedly underway. After their first publication, Wike allegedly signed 33 approvals for his family and friends. Among the beneficiaries was his father, Joshua Wike, who reportedly received a piece of land in Gusape 2. The 90-year-old was allocated 1,042 square meters of land worth 400 million naira under file number 62783 in the cited land documents. Other family members reportedly include cousins and nephews and sisters and brothers. The reported 33 allocations of land have sparked widespread criticism on social media as they raise questions about favoritism and ethical governance. This is another allegation that we've seen from People's Gazette. Remember, there was one that was released, I believe it was July 4th. It's talking about Jordan, which Wike's spokesperson had debunked. I've looked through social media and through the spokesperson's account. I haven't seen any sort of retraction on this particular story. But the last time we took the story, if you recall, Rufai, Wike had said, we know where this story is coming from. It's coming from Adamawa. But go ahead really quickly.
The People's Gazette has been sharing a lot of documents.
Yes.
The Joak Farms, in fact, there's part of the People's Gazette, there's also a document they share where Jordan Farms and Estates wrote to the Honorable Minister. But the letter is quite interesting because the company just said authorized signature. How will a company letterhead that is asking for a reduction in Sherity Shesh D15 district from 800 million, we write to Your Excellency for a wonderful job going in Abuja. We want a downward review of the SR cost to 100 million. How the company writing for a downward review of a SR cost to 100 million from 800 million government money, be writing authorized signatory without any name that signed it and list of list of directors of the company on letterhead and everything. I mean, you people know more about companies more than maybe I don't even know anything. So then all of these letters of all these family members, this allocation, these are allocation documents. I want the minister to come and prove them wrong. Maybe before, everybody was saying People's Gazette does not have document. They don't have document. They don't have file. They don't have this. He who alleges must prove.
Yes.
So People's Gazette now has put proof on the ground. You know, Dr. Abati, what's that thing you used to say? France runs acquisitoria legal. Legal system. We run.
France has an acquisitoria system.
Which one do you run?
A prosecutorial system.
Prosecutorial.
It's not prostitute.
Prosecutorial legal system.
Yes.
So the minister now.
Yes.
Should now be prosecutorial to respond with empirical facts. And if he wants to do it, there are many platforms that are available to do it. You know, I even want the minister to come out and challenge these people. What is People's Gazette? Who the heck are these People's Gazette? I want the minister to come up and show them venom and fire and respond to People's Gazette with all of these empirical documents People's Gazette has provided. At first, maybe the minister can come and even disprove those documents for us, but he needs to come out.
Yes.
Well, our system says, the prosecutorial model says, you are innocent.
Until proven guilty. No, that's why I say the minister should come out and fight back and prosecutorial the People's Gazette. That's what I mean. I'm joking, but the serious part of me now is the fact that these allegations deserve, in a sane country, the minister should rise up.
Well, there's a presidential probe.
In a sane country, we should also ask.
Yeah.
Where is the EFCC?
In all of this.
By now, I'm not sure the minister is no longer governor. The EFCC should be able to say, I mean, these are enough grounds to be able to ask questions. The ICPC should be able to ask questions, but the minister should come out and clear all of this. We need facts for him. So, Minister Wike, over to you, sir.
All right. Well, this is not the first that we're hearing, like I said earlier. We also had, I believe, Senator Ireti Kingibe on Rise Prime Time making similar allegations, not like this, but like about allocation of land to family members. But there's a presidential probe. So hopefully we will follow up on the story as always.
If these family members are Nigerians and they are contractual, persons who are eligible, then they have the right to own land.
Yeah.
So that's the caveat to it.
All right.
Whether they are family members or not, if they go through due process.
I have a right to own land. Everybody has a right to own land. So it's all about due process.
The question is, Dr. Abati, we have a right to own land.
We all do.
But you and I, can we go and apply for the land now? We get it in Abuja, in Maitama.
You may succeed.
Okay, maybe me and you will go and apply.
Yeah, you may succeed.
I'll follow you guys.
You come.
All right, shall we move on?
Because these people we're talking about, they are Nigerians.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Regardless, without prejudice to whatever People's Gazette may have published.
All right.
They are citizens and they are entitled. So if you are in a position, if you don't help your own people, who else will you help? That is how it works in Nigeria.
But with due respect, for the fact that a minister of lands or minister of FCT is there that can approve lands and his family member own land, doesn't that talk about conflict of interest?
Shall we move on? All right.
No, we're not talking about business.
No, I'm just asking.
We're talking about
doesn't it talk about conflict of interest?
Under the Constitution.
No,
those individuals have the right to own property.
Dr. Abati, does it not talk about conflict of interest? That's what I'm asking you. You know you're talking...
But nepotism isn't illegal, though. It's unethical, but it's not...
So does it not talk about ethical nepotism?
There's ethical nepotism.
You may raise moral questions.
All right.
But legal...
Look, one Chief Justice of the Federation, who will remain nameless, did not appoint his own daughter to the... Court of Appeal. She was a judge of the High Court. When the next Supreme Court person came there, Chief Justice came, he refused to promote the daughter of the former Chief Justice of Nigeria. And when they said, but this woman is qualified, the woman was qualified. If she was qualified, why did the father not promote her? So he promoted his own person.
So we should have a country.
That is the kind of country that you have.
So
and the woman never made it to Court of Appeal.
So that's why we raise issues like this.
So that's why we raise issues like this.
So that we avoid this sort of conflict of interest and nepotism.
We would like to see the reaction of the minister. Anyway, he has to react.
If they make you FCT minister tomorrow, allocation.
No. With due respect, Oji will not do that.
High five.
No, we will not do that. We can't build a country.
This is your country.
No, but it's sad.
You are the one who talk about what is pragmatic, what is real.
But the truth is, so if everybody allocates land, I'm assuming without consider, I'm not talking about the minister now, I'm talking about everybody, because he has a right to be able to, tell us on side of the story. If everybody does the same thing, will this country move forward?
All right, we've made the point.
This is your country.
This is Nigeria, and it's absolutely
But the minister has the right
wrong.
to reply.
Well, all right. In another development, the Nigerian Senate on Wednesday dismissed Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's attempt to return to legislative duties as skit-making and political theatrics. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, stated that Akpoti-Uduaghan's approach to the National Assembly accompanied by what he called a mob, carrying placards and chanting war songs, was confrontational and will not be tolerated. He maintained that until a competent court issues a definitive declaration that the suspension was unconstitutional, the Senate's action stands. He emphasized that enforcing court judgments is not the responsibility of the litigant, but of the court bailiffs. In the same vein, a member of the House of Representatives, Clement Jimbo, of the All Progressives Congress, has urged the Nigerian Parliament to advise the judiciary to deliver clear and unambiguous judgments. Jimbo expressed concerns over court rulings that are open to multiple interpretations, leading to confusion and exacerbating internal crisis, especially within political parties. Let's take a look.
As members of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, I think it is important for us to advise our judiciary that judgment of court should be simple, with clear explanation and simple English, devoid of any ambiguity, so that any party that reads the judgment can understand and derive one single interpretation. We are elected to make laws for the progress, prosperity, and security of our nation. And where judgment from our court is subject to mitigating that very responsibility, it calls for concern, Mr. Speaker. And of course, we, as members of the Parliament, should not sit aloof and allow judgment that emanate from our court to be subject of different interpretations.
I mean, this is actually what we were talking about yesterday, Vimbai, and this is Dr. Abati raised that point actually. And you know, talking about the Senate spokesman, Adara Modi, who is insisting that the Federal High Court judgment did not invalidate Akpoti Uduaghan's suspension. Instead, it only ordered her to apologize, pay a 5 million naira fine, and retract a social media post, a ruling she has already appealed. He argued that it is baffling for someone to appeal a court order and then try to enforce it as if it were final. Meanwhile, other attorneys like Falana that I raised yesterday have interpreted the judgment as binding. And I thought to just emphasize on this point that this, APC rep has made, which is we cannot leave these judgments ambiguous. Quickly.
Well, let's start with the skit-making comment, which is that the reason why a lot of people felt that what Senator Natasha did the other day was almost content creation or skit-making is because she's already addressing the matter before the courts. So when you know that your issue is pending in the courts, why then come and create this type of scene, if not that you're courting attention and, you're just trying to almost make a mockery of the process. So that's where that is coming from. However, having said that, on that CTC itself, I feel that we shouldn't trivialize this issue because it's a very big issue. I've spoken about it before, and I've said that what we're discussing and debating here is the separation of powers, and we are testing the limits on the separation of powers, which is that the judiciary cannot influence what happens within the legislature except when fundamental rights within the legislature have been violated. In this case, the judge was very clear in saying that she felt that fundamental rights had been violated. But why not go ahead and say, okay, you've given us your opinion, no problem. Given this,
it's the order.
Here we go. Because she's saying that fine, the Senate rules were violated and so forth, but the punishment was too excessive. No problem. How do we give justice? Because you're there to remedy what you feel is an injustice. Right. And I think that's where the chaos now happens here, because you've given us your motivation that there's an injustice. You've concluded that there's an injustice, but you're not giving us a remedy for that injustice, which is why somebody would, I don't support self-help, but this is why somebody would now delve into self-help, because the judge is on my side, but the judge, what is stopping the judge? And that raises many other questions that we don't have time to delve into today. But for me, the question is, what is stopping the judge from prescribing the remedy for the injustice that she has observed has taken place.
Yes, well, I hope that the Nigerian parliament takes note of this conversation, and kudos to that APC rep who's raised this point about ambiguous judgments. Meanwhile, a video featuring Senate President Godswill Akpabio mistakenly saying that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had been buried during Wednesday's plenary session has gone viral. However, Akpabio quickly corrected himself, clarifying that he meant former President Muhammadu Buhari. Let's take a look.
The whole country is very proud of what this administration has done in the way and manner President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was honored and was buried. And you can see, even from President Buhari's President Buhari was honored and buried.
All right, this video has been trending, but I mean, this is a common mistake. Come on. Everybody makes exactly the same sort of mistake, Rufai. I think we've even done that several times. I mean, the man just died. Please give the man a break, really.
Please give
yes. This is it now.
Please, I want to defend Senator Godswill Akpabio.
And you know, he was commending President Tinubu for his role during the burial ceremony, which we have done here, really. But in the meantime, I'd like to show a video of